Right, this video is a bit different, and it's about what I'm telling you about fake history and it being some sort of cycle. Yeah, it's probably 300 plus years. It might be 333. Yeah, and everything gets repurposed and they change to a new way of doing things gradually, and it phases through that cycle until you get back to analog radio again. Yeah? And then it comes full circle back to what we've got now with technology. I could speak all night about this and why I think it is the case, and I could show you loads of evidence pointing towards why it's the case. Right, but this is the village that I'm currently based in. I don't know for how much longer. And this is the road off the top of my road called Chapel Lane. My road goes off that road into the village. It's like a perimeter road of the village kind of thing. Right? One of them. But when we was kids, and you know when kids were kids back in the day, like late 70s, early 80s, and you're out on your bikes and like, you know, you just go out all day and no one would care and say, yeah, we're going here, we're going there, whatever. No one was bothered. And you'd have pen knives and all kinds of shit. No one ever got hurt. You might have a few fist fights with a few other kids and stuff. It was no big deal, yeah, and there was no big beef about it afterwards. Just back in the day, yeah, when things were a bit more, well, should I say normal? Anyway, and one day, well, we used to do it quite a lot. We went up here on our bikes and that. There's like a bridle way, so footpath going up here. There's a farm just over here, over the other side, that's actually owned by some royal types. Yeah. I don't know how close they are to the royals, but they are that line, yeah. And I think they might own a lot of this land, but anyway. There's a thing here, construction, right, on this mound stroke berg here, right, and if you go in and have a look at it, it's mostly underground, but there's some bits above ground, right, really heavy concrete with like, you know, steel strengthening in it and all that, like you see on German bunkers and stuff, yeah, it's like that, that's what it looks like. That bunker sort of build, yeah. But a lot of it goes, obviously it's underneath that mound, and inside it is much bigger. And we used to go and have a look in there, and there wasn't so many trees on it when we was younger as that. It was a bit less fucking tree, but we always used to go and fuck about on there. They had that really bouncy grass, you know, that sort of grass I'm talking about. When you're a kid, you just jump around on it and bounce and you didn't get hurt, yeah. And just used to mess around up there and do stuff, yeah. I'm talking about when we're like 7, 8, 9, 10, you know, on bikes and stuff. And we had a good look round it and that. And a couple of times we were there, a farmer came out and, oh, what are you doing? Fucking chased us off and we used to leg it back over here. But there's this thing there that I'm telling you about, right? And no one's ever proven to me 100% what it is. And people say, oh, it had something to do with the war, but that's bullshit, obviously. And other people say it had something to do with the water system, which is more likely, I think. And I'll tell you why in a minute. Now, when we went in there and looked in it and looked down inside it, it was all flooded out inside. Right? It was just dirty water in there. You felt you couldn't get inside it or see what was there. This is the case with a lot of these sort of places. Yeah. And it's gradually become overtaken by trees and bracken and everything else, but it was never that overgrown back in the day. Yeah. So that's one thing. Right. But then, again when we was kids, we went down here, right? Further down this road, one day. And I'm not going to name the people I was with because we was kids at the time, yeah. And they don't even live around here now. But in these woods you can see on the right here, on this side. You weren't really supposed to go in them, yeah. But, you know what I mean? What does it say here now? Look, it's been private now as well, and there's a substation. Look. Isn't that interesting? Right. But when we was kids, and not long back, they used to do paintballing and stuff in these woods. And I'm going to try and get on Google Earth so I can get over the top and have a look. But we went in here, and we went in and we climbed over a few fences with old signs on and that you shouldn't go in, and barbed wire and whatnot. And we kind of went to the far side of that wood where it goes back into the field, not far off. And there was like a big, kind of like rectangular pool, yeah, with a big pipe at one end and a big pipe at the other. And it was just like a marshy thing, you know, there was frogs and stuff in it and that, but it was obviously there for a reason, right? And it was set back and hidden in these woods again, right? Big pipes as well, right? And bear in mind what I've just showed you up here, that they said this was to do with water, right? Let's get further up this road, come on. But that was to do with water, and that's uphill from it, yeah? And that's down. Alright, but if you go back here, and we go back to the map, can we do that? Do I know how to do that on this? Right. Right, I'm just going to edit here while I find Papawick pumping station for you and show you where it is in location to this. Right, so Papawick pumping station is here, which is just on the outskirts of the village. So I'll just show you how close it is, yeah? We've just been looking in that field here, and this is where we are now, downhill from here. So it's not a long distance away, is it? From there into that other water feature that I told you about. And look at all these other lakes in the Abbey, look. A lot of lakes around the Abbey, isn't there? But anyway, so there's your pumping station. Because there's an aquifer, you see, underwater. Alright, let's go down there and have a look. Look at, you see, all these things date from around a similar era, don't they, look? Yeah, and they have a lot of red bricks. Well, that's like the guy, old house for the guy who used to run it, I would imagine, and some other building there. God knows what for, yeah. The deputy's house. See all the red bricks. See how it's got them same similar structures to it. That it's got a, the gate post, that it's got a lady bower. All underground here is all water, yeah. Right. So look at this place. Yeah, it's just round the corner. There's a lake here, there's a substation here. And you know how they make some substations look like houses? I think I've got a bead on that. Yeah. And the Baba Yaga code and thing. But yeah. You see what I'm saying? So there's a pumping station here. I'll include a few images of what it looks like inside so you can have a look. So when you put that together with what I showed you earlier, all in this area, I'm saying to you, and the village as well, that's now called Ravenshead, it used to be called, right, Fishpool. Yeah. But you know the pool, right, it's underneath it. It's underneath. You don't see it on the surface. And there's another, that was just here around the corner from it. Another AC fucking station here, look. Yeah. And there's pipes and stuff in it as well, look. You see that? What's that all about? All trees around it again. Yeah. Very interesting, this area I live in. Very interesting. In a bit.